Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, spiritual prospectors, wherever you may be in this beautiful planet of ours. It is Monday morning, time for another episode of Metaphysical Mocha Mondays with Marc here on the Intuitive Prospector page. Got a few of you up this morning with me. It's 8 o'clock here in Seattle, Washington. Thanks for hanging out. Grab your coffee, grab your tea. This show is a half hour dedicated to inspiration, dedicated to guidance, dedicated to spiritualism, dedicated to thinking outside the box, dedicated to nature. I'm going to share a couple things with you this morning and just have a conversation. If you want to stick around at 8:30 after the show is over, we have the Prospecting Q&A after show that goes for about another half hour where I'll actually have a direct conversation with all of you. So if you want some spiritual guidance, if you want a reading, if you want me to pull a card, it's kind of just having a spiritual chat, and it's a way to connect with people on Monday morning. So I'm in my second season of Metaphysical Mocha Mondays. I'm now broadcasting on the Intuitive Prospector page. Always want to give gratitude where gratitude can be given, and I want to thank the Om Times Institute for allowing me last year to broadcast on their channel. They've made some changes with the whole infrastructure and the platform and are moving in a completely different direction when it comes to social media live feeds. But I just want to say thank you, Leonie, for allowing me to be a part of the Om Times Institute. I really appreciate it, and thanks for being here. So if you're on board watching, just go ahead and let me know where you're from. Good morning to Emily. Good morning to Lori, Lisa, good morning, Barbarella, good morning. A couple of you watching this morning. I also want to just take the time to give gratitude and thanks for all the amazing people that came out on Saturday at the Conscious Wellness Expo in Kent, Washington. It's the only expo I do all year, and I guess if I have as much fun as I did on Saturday, I might start doing more of these expos. But it was really nice to catch up with some of you, to see you in person. I had a couple people that came up to my booth and follow me here on the Intuitive Prospector page, or my newsletter Soul Adventures, or my YouTube library. And it's always nice to meet people that are following me in the work that I do. So I just want to say thank you to the amazing people that I met. And thank you to all the people that I was a featured speaker this year, talking about signs, symbols, synchronicities, and the synergy of the spirit world. And it was packed. I mean, there was so many people watching that at one point the microphone, it was like a microphone with a little like karaoke box. It wasn't an actual mic'd up system, and it actually, about 5 minutes into the presentation, started crackling, started popping, and of course that's my way of just knowing that the spirit world is interfering with the frequency and the energy of what's going on. So I actually had to turn the microphone off and talk really loud for an hour, talking about signs, symbols, and synergy and synchronicities. And because there were so many people in the audience, I had to project my voice out. So by the time I was done for the day, I literally had no voice. I lost my voice, and I'm just now getting it back. But thank you for everybody that turned out for the Conscious Wellness Expo in Kent, Washington. I will be back next year, booth 51 again. That's going to be next year, end of June 29th, I believe is the date. So I'll be back for that. But it was a lot of fun, and ended up doing a demonstration of mediumship, connected with two lovely people in the spirit world. One was a mom and one was a grandfather. So there's some really nice messages. So if you guys want to do me a huge favor, I don't promote this show as far as I don't pay for any advertising on it. It's all my way of giving back, of being in service to others, connecting to others. So if you'd be so kind to like the page, Intuitive Prospector, I'm going to try to hit 30,000 prospectors by the end of the year. That's my goal. I'm at like 28,000 right now. But I'm just trying to reach a more global audience with the work that I do in spiritualism, mediumship, the radio show that I have, Inspired Living Radio, this show, Metaphysical Mocha Mondays. So if you would be so kind to share out the page as well. I know a couple of you, I know Lisa helps me a lot sharing out. So I just really appreciate if you guys would help share out to other pages and help this show to grow so we can reach more people all around the world. So this morning I'm going to be talking about a few things. This morning I'm going to be talking about the breath that we take carves out each soul adventure, and why it's important to be in the present moment. So before we get started, though, I want you to grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab your protein shake. I got my hemp-infused protein shake, which I've been on the hemp oil for about 4.5 months now, feeling really great. So here's my hemp oil. I take this under the tongue, sublingual, every morning, and then I take my hemp-infused. So anybody that's battling chronic pain like I do and inflammatory issues, the hemp plant is amazing. I did a show last week on it, so check that out on Inspired Living Radio. And then last week I also did a show here on Metaphysical Mocha's The History of Hemp and the Power of Hemp. And I want to say congratulations to all of my friends and colleagues up in Canada, because they just passed, starting in October, they're going to become the first nation to federally, nationally pass the hemp plant for recreational marijuana. So congratulations, you guys are well ahead of the curve. Hemp has been in our dietary supplement for thousands of years, and it wasn't only until the 1930s that it became taken out of the society and the diet, and it's great to see it come back because it has so many benefits for your health. It's got over 25,000 different uses as far as the hemp plant. Top part is the THC in the marijuana. The bottom half, the roots, the leaves, the stalk, all can be used for hemp oils to get you into homeostasis. I'm a big fan of it. Wrote papers in college about it, and now I'm a affiliate. So if you want to learn more about the hemp plant, please contact me, and I'll put a site up where you can visit my affiliation program for actually ordering the hemp protein, hemp moisturizer, hemp oil, a detox kit, because we are what we absorb. And I always say now, your health is your wealth, and I didn't always get to that point of how important your health is until we get a little bit older. So go ahead and just take a deep breath. Today's topic is talking about the present moment, really, and each breath carves out our next soul adventure. So I've coined soul adventures for my newsletter. It's something I started about 3 years ago. So today is about being in the present moment. So take a nice deep breath as you get ready for your week ahead. Take in a nice, deep, energetic, cleansing, peaceful, healing breath. And in Qigong, we actually work with breath a lot, about bringing breath in, and we rise our hands up and we push the breath down, and we do this a couple times. So I do this in the morning, because when you take your breath in, the breath actually is really good at turning off the mind. So for those of you that are watching this morning, how many of you your minds are already going, it's Monday, I got to think about the work day ahead, I've got to think about what I got to get done. I got to get the groceries. I got to pay the mortgage. And we're always in a constant state of mentally thinking. And it was interesting this weekend because I worked with a lot of people in my readings at the expo, and we talked a lot about dementia and Alzheimer's and how more and more people are getting it. And I'm a firm believer that we are just moving so fast that the brain is literally burning out, just like a car engine, just like your computer. If you open up and you use your computer constantly, this is a supercomputer. You end up burning out, and there's more and more people that are getting dementia at younger ages. The studies are showing that dementia and Alzheimer's are actually impacting younger people. Sometimes I'm in my mid-40s, I can't remember somebody's name, or I can't remember what I was just doing. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I starting to get onset dementia? So that's just even a more important reason for your health is your wealth, to get into the present moment and to breathe and to have a meditative practice. Meditation changed my life, guys. It put me on this path today to be with you, to even be talking about this. I was taking sports medicine here at the University of Washington for my graduate degree, and that's where I got into meditation, visualization, and manifestation for the professional athlete. So when we can find the magic in the moment, when we can get in the moment, we can do that through the power of breath. And I know Rumi talked about carving out, each breath carves out our future. And I know that one of my favorite quotes from Abraham Lincoln, where he talks about the best part of our future comes one day at a time. So when people come to see me for a reading, if they want a psychic reading, where the psychic energy is more focused in on, what does the future hold, where is my career going, what's my love life looking like, completely different than mediumship. Mediumship is literally connecting to the essence of those that once lived here in the physical world, and then are now decarnated back into the spiritual form, the energy form, the whatever your belief system is, heaven, and connecting with the messages that they can bring to us here still on the physical side. But on the psychic energy side, People ask me all the time. They want winning lottery numbers. They want their, when am I going to die? I don't predict that. I'm not that type of psychic, and I won't do that type of work. Because I'm a firm believer that your future does come one day at a time. Now, we can get glimpses, and we can get, road signs along the road, the path of life, if you will. But your free will and choice will always dictate where you go, because that is your greatest power while you're here. It's your own responsibility to navigate. I can only just be an assistant to help you, see some of the things that you might be looking for. And so, being in the moment, like Abraham Lincoln said, the best part about the future is it comes one day at a time. So it starts right now. A lot of us, myself included, we get where we project our thoughts out to the future, or we project our thoughts out to the past. And this morning, we're just going to do a quick exercise of just breathing and taking in breath, because when you take in the breath, it helps to shut the mind off. We work on this in spiritual development. I've got an online spiritual development group. I work on it in my own path. And a lot of people just forget to breathe. And when you breathe, you want to take that nice deep breath in from the bottom of your belly, through your nose, all the way up, and blow it out. A lot of you that are watching today, if you were to take your shoulders and hold them up here and then take a nice deep breath in, you're only breathing from about the top half of your chest up, and that's where a lot of people breathe. And you want to get that deep cleansing breath into your system. We call this the Dantian and Qigong practice, which is right around the belly button and below, coming all the way up to the throat. And there's 3 levels. We call it the triple heater, and it's literally when you take breaths in, you're warming up your triple heater. So this is the lower half is your belly button and below. The middle half is your belly button up to your neck, and the neck up to your head. So it's the 3 layers of the triple heater, or the Dantian. And increasing your temperature can be done easily by breathing. So when we do take a breath, each breath we take, think about this, carves out our next soul adventure. Our breath, it triggers our thought process, and it lets us know where we want to go, what our future holds. I was watching something or reading something, because I'm always doing something. And it was interesting because one of the spiritual teachers talked about that your memories and your imagination that you create play into the future and play into the past. And if you think about this for a second, both the past and the future are not real, because they don't exist anymore. The future hasn't come, and there's never a guarantee for the future. And the past has already moved on. As of right, I said something that's now in the past. I can't go back and change that. So he was talking about, and I wish I could remember who I was listening to, because this isn't Marc's philosophy. This is me sharing my education and my knowledge with you to incorporate wisdom. And I always pay respect and honor where I get my information, but I just cannot think of his name right now. A guru somewhere. But he was talking about how the past and the future are not real, because we make it real based on our memories, our thoughts, our memories that we have, take us back into the past. So it takes us back into something that's not real. And then our imagination, we are very creative, imaginary species. Homo sapien implies the word sapien means wise. That's what Homo sapiens is about. And our imagination, which we all have, takes us into the future. So we take all this time of memories into the past, imagine into the future, and we put it into things that don't even exist. And we forget about being in the moment of the time and what we want to do right now. So, for example, I've got a lot of work to do today. So my mind is already projecting out of what I got to get accomplished today. I've got to get ready for a reading at 4 o'clock. I've got an email reading I got to do. I've got my radio show write-up I got to do. I'm going to follow up with the prospecting Q&A after show to give readings. So I'm already putting my thoughts into the future that hasn't come yet. And the way that you can stop the mind, because the mind is going to continue to go until the time that you actually pass and decarnate into the spiritual sense and leave your physical body. This mind, this supercomputer is going to go. So you might as well learn to at least tame the wild monkey, at least try to control the wild monkey. It's like a bunch of wild monkeys running around in your head. And there's a lot of ways that you can do that. The power of meditation, the power of exercise, the power of positive mantras. hemp oil, getting into homeostasis. Homeostasis is getting the nervous system to be in a state of constant. The term homeostasis, again, I use the word homeo sapien, which means wise being in the Greek sense. Homeostasis in Greek means ready and steady. So by getting your nervous system in a ready, steady format versus fight or flight all the time is a way to also get through the day. And there's a lot going on around us. So positive affirmations are great. So I'm going to give you a couple to think about. But most importantly, the simplest thing that you can do today is to breathe. And we just, there's a song that is by Pearl Jam called Just Breathe that's coming to my mind. And just, it doesn't cost anything. It's free. You can use it anytime you like. And it's the one thing that makes us go, because without breath, even in CPR, the first thing that we teach is airway, breathing, circulation. Without your airway, nothing else goes. So it's important to start with taking a nice, good breath, just like you fill up your tank with gasoline. You need to fill up your human tank with good breath. So taking a nice, deep breath, and when you take that breath in, breathe in through your nose, hold that energy, and blow it out. And when Qigong, what we do is we bring the breath all the way up with our hands from Mother Earth, we hold it, and then we push it down. We breathe in what we want for our life. Again, each breath carves out your next soul adventure. So when you're breathing in, think of the intent. Think of what you want for your future. Again, not getting into the future, but what you want for today to plant the seeds for the future that you can have in the tomorrow. So again, there's that old adage, today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. I have respect for the history of yesterday and honor what comes ahead, because there's no guarantee, and I've seen that firsthand. But just being in the moment, shutting the mind off, you can do that through the power of breath. So just taking a nice deep breath for me. If you're sitting watching this, you can do this right with me. Taking a nice deep breath. The breath comes in through the nose, because the nose is great for warming up the air as it goes into your lungs. If you're breathing in through your mouth, there's that term mouth breather. Got to be mindful of that, because there is no filter system that would go right to your lungs that comes through the mouth. So taking a breath in through the nose, there's little hairs in your nose that actually help filter, particles out. It warms the air as it goes into the nasal passageway and down to the lungs. So it's always important to breathe through your nose, even if you're exercising. I try to do this when I'm exercising, playing, if I'm swimming, if I'm playing basketball, if I'm running, trying to get that breath through my nose, because sometimes I'm like I'm out of shape. So breathe in through your nose. And what you can do to help elevate that breath is, like I said, in Qigong, we call it the triple heater. And if you start with your hands at the bottom of your belly and bring that breath up with your hands, hold it here, and push out, that's a good visual aspect to actually be deep breathing. Because if you're not deep breathing, you're shallow breathing. It's equivalent to, like I said, holding your shoulders up here. If you do that, you can see where you're actually breathing from. So breath is important, because there's energy in what we call prana. There's power. There's knowledge in the elements of the air that you're breathing. You ever wonder why they called it the breath of God? The breath of God is a philosophy that when we exhale the carbon dioxide, we breathe in oxygen and we exhale carbon dioxide. And the trees, our friends, our planet, are symbiotic with us, because they take in what we exhale and they give us oxygen of what we inhale. But along the way, there are little parts of argon that come out when we exhale. And if you think about this for a second, through history past, you are breathing in the air of some of the greatest people in history. Buddha, Muhammad, Jesus, presidents, sports athletes, because everything is connected, and those little pieces of argon float all around the world, and then we breathe it in. So there's where you get the breath of God, and you get that concept of breathing in the knowledge and the history and the power of other people that have come before you. And what you do now, today, what you are carving out for your next soul adventure, is leaving that knowledge and that power and that prana for those that will come behind us and get into a spiritual path if they choose to. Not everybody's going to get into a spiritual path, but that's okay. So taking a nice deep breath. Taking another nice deep breath. Each breath you take carves your next soul adventure. Another nice deep breath. I only did that 3 times, and I've got the singing bowl here that I activated. But just see how your mindset is now. Your mind is still going to be going. You still may have your thoughts, but it's really good at slowing the mind down. And it's a good way to actually stop the mind. So if you feel like you're going down the rabbit hole and the mindset is just going, take a couple deep breaths. Take 10 deep breaths. And another positive present affirmation I'm going to give you a couple, is you can say as you're taking in your breath, I now choose to live in the present. Exhale. You can take another nice deep breath in. It is safe for me to give up control. Taking another nice deep breath. I enjoy being aware of the present moment. And exhale. Taking another nice deep breath. I can always handle the moment I'm in. And exhale. Another nice deep breath in. I am grateful that I can let go and enjoy the present. So those are a few of the present affirmations that I use in my own journey, my own practice, because again, that mindset can really take you to the past that is not real, to the future that doesn't exist, it's not real. And again, your imagination plays into your future and your memories play into your past. So for those of you that are just starting on your spiritual journey, starting to understand what mindfulness is, awareness is, there's a lot of power being in the present moment. I teach a lot of classes on breathing. I teach a lot of classes on finding the magic in the moment. And again, present affirmations can really help you, and I'll give those to you again. I now choose to live in the present. It is safe for me to give up control. Oh my gosh, the ego mind is like, oh my gosh, the ego, left side of the brain doesn't want to give up control. The right side, the creative, the consciousness, the awareness, that's how you connect, that's how you blend. Another present affirmation, I enjoy being aware of the present moment. That's a good way to say something to get you into the present moment. I can always handle the moment I'm in. I'm grateful that I can let go and enjoy the present. Today, I choose to be aware of the fact that I am living my life. That's something that I use all the time. Today, I choose to be aware of the fact that I'm living my life. And again, not getting caught up in the memories of the past, because my memories will put energy into that, or my imagination of what the future is going to hold, because I don't know what the future is going to hold. And there's a lot of things that I'm doing today that I never thought in a million years that I would be doing. So this is Metaphysical Mocha Mondays with Marc. Here Monday morning, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to give you some tools for the week to help you on your journey, to help you on your spiritual path. That's what this show is all about. And then at 8:30, if you want to stay here on the Intuitive Prospector page, make sure to turn on the notifications. Make sure to like the Intuitive Prospector page so you can get notice of when I'm going live on the air. Because sometimes I just pop on and do free readings, or I'll be on a Forest Friday hike, which a Forest Friday hike is coming up, and I may just do a live feed from a meditation at a waterfall or a river or by a tree. You never know with me. That's Soul Adventures, right? But make sure to also subscribe to my YouTube library. The link is actually in the description of this show. If you subscribe to my playlist, there's over now 170, almost 180 videos, podcasts, 3 seasons of Inspired Living Radio where we've had amazing guests, 2 seasons of Metaphysical Mocha Mondays, hiking videos, diving videos. Spiritual awesomeness is what I call it. So make sure to get on that, because every time I upload a new video to the YouTube playlist, you get notification if you're a subscriber. And of course, I would greatly appreciate it if you subscribe to the playlist or to Metaphysical Mocha Mondays. This Wednesday is the live radio show, Inspired Living Radio. That's internet-based. It's through Om Times Radio. Just type in Inspired Living Radio on the internet. We pop up anywhere in the world. You can listen on any device, no username or password or any of that crap. And you can hang out with us for an hour from 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 1 p.m., where we open the call lines. We have a Facebook page called Inspired Living Radio. This show, this Monday, is going to be fun because we're going to be talking about past lives and why they matter. I'm looking forward to learning about that. So make sure to join the Inspired Living Radio Facebook page. You can also join my closed page Soul Adventures, or get on my YouTube playlist. So I want to give you some knowledge for this week. I want to introduce you to the prospecting stone for this week. And this is what I picked up at the expo from one of my friends there. She was really kind and gave me a discount. But this is called green Jasper. And when I saw it, when I get a chance to walk around the expo, it's usually at the end of the day because I'm busy all the way through with readings and talking with people and speaking, and then I walk around and I usually find one stone that calls to me. So this was a lucky guy. This is green Jasper. This stone actually really spoke to me, so I'll use it here in my studio and put it up on my ledge for all of my stones. But if you're familiar with green Jasper, I wasn't really sure what the qualities of the stone were, but what it does is it heals and releases dis-ease. So disease, which I always refer to as dis-ease, which is great. So with the hemp oil, and now have my green Jasper, but it also helps get rid of obsession, and it balances out the part of your life that's become important to the detriment of others. So it also stimulates the heart chakra, the green, so you can put this right over your heart if you want. It stimulates the heart chakra. And the green treats skin disorders. And I know over the last 2 years with my journey, being a medium and working with my nervous system, raising my energy up to connect to the loved ones in the etheric world, doing psychic readings. Us psychic mediums work with our nervous system a lot, raising energy, lowering energy, using the different aspects of the nervous system. And I know that my diet changed over time, and I had become gluten-free because my skin was actually having issues with pushing extra yeast out of the body because of the gluten that I was eating. And so dietary supplement, that's why I'm drinking my protein shakes and on my hemp oil, because my diet changed in doing this work. And it was very interesting and concerning at the same time. But I didn't realize picking the green Jasper today that it also helps with skin conditions. So it was calling to me. So that's your prospecting stone for this week, is green Jasper. I hope that you'll do a little prospecting. The number for this week is the leadership card. So 81, leadership. So a lot of times 81 in numerology adds up to the number 9, which means this is a completion. Number 9 means that you're coming to the end of something. And in the numerology, 81 is a time to lead and guide others who are less capable than you are. So it's helping others that are less capable. A good leader, in my opinion, is also a good follower and a good supporter. Some of your, when I watch like Undercover Boss and the CEOs of the company, they're very passionate about taking care of their people. And I remember my stepdad always telling me, if you take care of your people will take care of you. If you're running a small business, if you're running a corporation. So leadership is something in enabling and helping others, creating a safe environment. That's what leaders do. And so again, 81 or the number 9 in numerology for your weekly guidance. And last but not least is I'm going to give you today for your totem animal spirit. I'm going to wrap up, and we'll come back here in about a minute for the prospecting Q&A after show. So if you want to stay on board, please do so. I have to end the video so I can upload it to YouTube. Otherwise, it ends up being a whole hour-and-a-half long show. But the owl. The spirit totem animal for this week is the owl. And what the owl, if you hear the owl, which I just a couple nights ago heard an owl, it was pretty cool. It's telling you that it's time to meditate in silence, in the darkness for a few minutes each evening, and then in the next few days, and see what is revealed to you. And what you can do is you can incorporate your breathing technique that we talked about today, because each breath carves out your next soul adventure. If you hear the owl is just a reminder to go to a place of silence, of stillness, to meditate. Rumi talked about this all the time. The more silent and still you are, the more you will hear. So take a moment to disconnect so that you can have a moment to reconnect with yourself, with those loved ones in the spirit world, your animals, Mother Earth, your consciousness, your intuition, your awareness, what have you. But a lot of people aren't doing that, and that's why we see a lot of disease or dis-ease in society today. So I would challenge you. I would, if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. Visit marclanehart.com. Send me a private message here on Facebook, or leave a comment. But let's get ready to do a little prospecting on the Q&A after show. So if you want to stick on board, I'm going to be right back here in about 30 seconds, and we'll continue on the conversation. And have a great rest of your day. And if you don't stay on board, no problem. Have a great rest of your week. And until we talk next Monday here on Metaphysical Mocha Mondays, be kind, be caring, be compassionate, and breathe. Namaste.